You have the three dots at bottom, go live on, but sometimes it takes time.
Yes.
It's not always easy with Zoom.
Yes, I agree. I think we're live. I'm just gonna share it.
Okay.
In my group.
Okay.
Okay. I think we are live. Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Arayeh, your rapid transformational coach in the areas of life coaching, mindful living, conscious parenting, and relationship. And I have only one mission, and that is to empower you to live your authentic self and for your full potential with ease and grace and joy. And today we are going to talk about joy and love and fear. And I have the perfect person today. I've invited her from Belgium. It's really late there. I'm so blessed that you accepted my invitation, although it's very late. But I really wanted her to talk about love and thriving in the at the time that we are in right now. And I think she's perfect because I think her superpower is love. That's what I've heard, right? Hi, Barbara. I want you to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your own journey, how you came to be this wonderful powerhouse, this beautiful human being, this wonderful coach and woman and friend. Tell us a little bit about your personal journey, how you awakened your true and authentic self.
Well, I think when we are born and in our early childhood, we are very authentic and very close and connected to who we are. And then, like society interferes. Or parents come, or peers, or teachers. And I won't say they mess up, but they do they confuse. It can be confusing to grow up. And you could say as a child, I was quite spiritual and connected and feeling very that mission, being here to love and to share joy and like a certain purity in who I was. But as many of us, we are like put in a mold, and that mold is called school, college, marriage, job, title, house, car. And we are, during years, we are being brainwashed like your happiness, oh, that's after high school, it's in the college. After college, it's in finding the right. And I came to the conclusion that all of that is a big lie. Or happiness isn't there. It's not, it can be, but it isn't there. If it's not within us, then it will not be outside us. So how do I came back to that place, like where we are born with, and how did I get back? That's quite a journey. And if I look back right now, I feel blessed about the journey. But in the moments of distress, because it's mostly distress and crises, which make us realign, because otherwise we are often too stubborn, too caught up in our beliefs and in the personality structure and how things should be, that it's only if we have those disruptive moments that we are like, whoa, what's happening here? What is my life about? And as you know, at the age of 32, I was diagnosed with a stage 4 cancer. My youngest was 8 weeks old, and I was told at the age of 32 that I had 6 more months to live. And that's quite, that's quite a shock. It's being faced with death very, very suddenly. And it's that moment on that moment, I was looking back at those 32 years like, is this my legacy? If I would die within 6 months, am I happy with my legacy? The answer was no, I was not. Because until that moment, I had lived the life of someone else. I have lived the life up to expectations of others. And I know you can relate. We did everything because we thought it was what a good person did. And we thought that doing that, what a good person does, would bring us happiness. And it was not that I was unhappy. It was more that I was unconscious about the choices that I had made. And most of all, I had silenced the voice of my soul. I didn't listen to my soul anymore. I listened to my mind. My mind was saying, okay, you're that age now, you're supposed to do that, and you are supposed to behave like that because you're a mom and you have a business. So it has, that was a first huge wake-up call. It made me realize, okay, I'm 32. I've been running a construction business since 5 years. I'm married, 3 kids. How did I end up here? And it's step by step that it started a journey of self-discovery, because fortunately, I survived. I had several surgeries and a year of chemotherapy, and I survived. And I promised myself that if I would survive, I have got my second chance in life, and I would not waste it, and I would not spoil it, and I would make the best of it and leave a positive legacy. But that doesn't happen overnight. It takes years. So whoever is struggling right now, or is just having his wake-up call, you could say, it's in the embodying, and it's in becoming who you are. That's a process that maybe some Zen monks have that sudden shift of awakening.
I don't think so. They have years of meditation.
Yes, they have years, and they call that the Satori moment. Well, I didn't have that. It's more like an opening, like day by day, year by year, or an expansion. And sometimes I shrink back and I expand again, but you never shrink back to where you originally were. Yeah. So I started that discovery, that journey of self-discovery. And I felt that I was born to guide others, to empower and encourage. But I was running a construction business. So I started following coaching certification courses. And I started, like with the years, a little business on the side, coaching while still running my construction business. But in 2016, I had another huge setback. I was betrayed by 2 of my employees, and I almost went bankrupt with the construction business. So there I was, 46 years old, and really talking to the universe like, are you serious? You made me survive a stage 4 cancer to end up here with a huge debt at 46? But as I look at it now, it was a blessing. It was the nudge that I needed to change my business, because I was fearful to let go of the construction business. And I needed that shock. That's how I see it now. But I didn't see that in the moment. No. It was horrible. The moment was horrible. The crises are always raw. They are horrible. They're full of tears. For me, it's like crying for days, like what is going on, the emotion. And that's okay. It's like cleansing. It's like purifying. And I think sometimes you could say we are like a rough diamond, and it's the challenges and the difficulties who polish us.
Exactly.
Who, like all those things that we were taught, we rub them off again, and we come to the true essence. So here I am, 5 years later, happy and fulfilled, doing what I love most. But you could say it's, I think that everybody is going through a challenge right now. Yes. Is to bless it, because there's so much value in it.
Yes.
There's so
And I
much.
think so you mentioned as you were talking, I'm trying to kind of gather what the message is pain, and we actually grow from pain, right? As
Yes,
you said,
yes,
for example, a mirror, sometimes it needs that sanding so it
yes,
kind of
yes,
becomes purified. We want to be
yes,
polished, and
yes,
look at pain or these crises from a different perspective with a different lens, kind of have an
yes,
eagle eye kind of outlook on it, not
yes.
just get really hooked on every detail, but look at the
And I
big
think,
picture and
and I
what
think,
comes up.
first of all, um, many people like have that kind of feeling of entitlement to happiness, like,
Mm,
but life owes us nothing. And I have learned that without what I went through, without those challenges, without having any challenge, I would be so much less compassionate.
yes.
I would be so much more arrogant, proud, um, like having a feeling. But in having being on my knees in the darkness, I know how it feels. I have a very good experience of this human condition.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Exactly.
makes you understand the suffering of others so much more. But the beautiful thing is, in overcoming it, I can encourage others, like, and help them pull through. Like, it is possible. Whatever you are facing, you can overcome. Even the
Yes.
most terrible things. There is beauty and there is wisdom in the pain. There is wisdom in the pain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the fulfillment comes from seeing the entire picture. Like if you could say the universe is all energy and we see all the lights and all the colors, our human mind tends to say, oh, I only want the yellow sparks and the red sparks. Oh no, I don't want those gray sparks and those. So, but it's the entire experience. If you are focused, I only want the pleasure things, or I only want, then you are missing the point. It's sometimes I compare life with circumstances with the sea, and we are steering at our boat. Everybody wants that calm sea to be relaxing in their boat, but the sea is what it is. And some people are hiding in the boat, fearful of a storm to come. But it is the storms which teach us how to be a skilled captain.
Exactly.
It's not a calm sea. And in having faced storms, that fear is gone because okay, storm, you can come. I can handle this. I have found a way to steer my boat, which is mostly your mind, your emotions, your heart. How do you deal with it? How do you respond to it? And not blaming the sea for your boat being, no, the sea doesn't care. The sea is what it is, it's energy, it's moving, and resisting the movements of the sea well, that resistance is just control and fear and making us anxious.
Exactly, because we are resisting what's the isness of the situation, and we're
Yes,
expecting the isnesses of the situation to be different, and then we're just set for suffering like that. Denise is
absolutely.
asking, so do you now welcome fear in your life? Do you trust you will come out of it better or more polished? Are you aiming your boat toward the storm? So I don't think we're aiming we need to
No,
aim our
no,
boat through the storm, but
no.
just
It's not
accept
about,
whatever is coming. Yes.
yes. And when I feel fear coming up,
Mhm.
now I think it's a good sign, because I know when fear is coming up, I have to stretch myself somewhere.
Mhm. Yes.
I have to go in some discomfort.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know it's a good sign. For
Yeah.
me, fear has become a sign of expansion.
Exactly. And humility, because you mentioned something where
Absolutely.
you kind of pull
Absolutely.
yourself down, you anchor yourself that
Yes,
you're not arrogant
absolutely.
anymore, right? So it pulls us down kind of from that airheadness and
Yes,
grounds
yes.
us. And as you said, brings compassion to our heart for other people who are going through.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
Denise, I think I love this Eckhart Tolle's quote that he says, suffering is necessary until you realize it's unnecessary. So
Yes.
it's when we have not enough wisdom and we see the hardship in our life, it's like that
Hmm.
lobster that has pain, and because of
Yes,
the pain
yes.
there gets a sign to shed the skin, to shed the shell and grow a new one. Imagine that the lobster will go and get an antidepressant because I feel the pain, it would just really be too tight, too
Absolutely.
confining, right? But so the pain becomes, as you said, a stepping stone to grow and to shed our previous skin.
Yes,
But there
yes.
will be a time where we have strengthened that muscle so much that when it comes, we are maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes, because of our human condition, we feel
Absolutely.
really, down, and we feel our fear, we feel our sadness, feel our frustrated, feelings, because we have to honor them. But then we come out of it and we grow one step higher in consciousness and
Yes,
say, okay, what lessons, what's going on, what am I learning, and how can
yes,
I grow through this pain?
yes. And find it even interesting because it becomes more rare, like having that highly emotional reaction, or being humiliated, or feeling accused of some. And then that becomes very interesting. Sort of like, what's going on here? What part of me is not healed yet? What insecurity is coming up? Why do I feel attacked? What is it within me that feels the fear, or that feels attacked?
Yes.
And you
Yes.
just approach it from a more detached place, and you look at
Curious.
it. Yes,
Mhm.
curious, like, okay, that's interesting, that's coming up today.
I thought
Okay,
I healed it. What happened?
yes.
I think in the spiritual realm, the realm,
Yes,
they call
yes,
it
yes.
new level, new devil. So I've grown
Absolutely.
now. The new thing coming up. What, I thought I healed that. What happened? So we're gonna go one step higher. So as you
Yes.
said, it's never going back to contraction again.
No.
We are still expanding, but it's very gracious as a beautiful flower, right? But we never go back. So we're
No.
expanding, and every time we feel, sometimes it feels like, oh no, I'm trying so hard, I'm reading so many books and I'm working on myself, not again. But here's good news. Know that we never go back, and we are never stagnant. We are always going up a spiral. So it's like a
Yes.
spiral of
Yes.
consciousness. We never go back, and we are never stagnant. With every relapse that we might have, we are going higher. And as you mentioned, it's just a new sign. If we take it, if we welcome it, if we don't resist it, if we don't resent it, it
Mm-hmm.
becomes yet another step for us to
Yes.
grow to our authentic self.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
a kind of a
Absolutely.
shift in perspective, and rather than going to victimhood and just saying, oh, not again, why me, all those things, is
Yes.
saying, okay, well, let's get curious. What can I heal
Yes.
now? Which wound is it? From what year in my childhood, from what's going on? So let
Yes.
me just
Yes.
heal it, let me attend it, let me feel the feelings. So Barbara, I know there are a lot of people, especially people with kids at home, and they have to work from home. Some people have lost their business, their jobs. What is your best 2-3 tips that you have, practical tips or concepts that the audience can use at this time, with so much, there might be some disease or even death
Yes. Mm-hmm.
in the families.
Mm-hmm.
What is your advice about this?
Well, we're still in lockdown here in Belgium, so it's it
Us
has
too.
been quite a journey, and the entire winter, all bars are closed, or restaurants are closed, and many people, especially people who don't have the warm home environment, who are more an unstable home environment. For me personally, since the beginning, my mantra was something good is going to come out of this. I have kept repeating that to myself. something good is going to come out of this. I can already see like a new dawn in a far future. I know this is really a point in humanity, like it's shifting. But those moments are never, it's like when me in the middle of the cancer, those moments in the moment are not gracious. They are horrible in the moment.
Yeah.
But yet it's an opportunity for us to grow. It is.
Yeah.
Although we might not feel it and see it in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It is for humanity. It is now. We are at the end of a system. It's crumbling. And deep in our heart, we know it's not sustainable. The entire system that the world and the planet is built on now. And does it help you in your home with your three kids yelling? I think it's very important to always look at your energy levels. Like, do I need half an hour in bed alone to, like recharge my batteries? I think making some clear agreements in the house, like who is doing what, when, just being clear. And it's not that it has to be in an authoritarian way, but just agree, like I'm going in the office like those hours, I'm doing that. And having that structure and clarity for everyone brings calm and ease.
Yes.
My
Yes.
kids are, like young adults, two in college and one in high school. And for us, it works best that we make like some agreements. Who is in which room at what moment? And give each other that space. And not, I think, not wanting to control everybody and the situation and how everybody has to behave is very liberating.
Yes.
That's what I learned.
Yes.
Just have an open discussion, even if your children are younger. Like, okay, you have online schooling from then to then, and maybe you can do, and have it like in an easy way. And for us, it has been wonderful. We have never had the connectedness has grown enormously.
Yes. The
And
focus on
it
the
can,
positive.
yes, focus on the positive. It has been for us. I don't know if the girls see it that way, because their college time is like passing by without, like the college pleasures. They have only the college duties. But for the family, it has been an incredible time. And I know within a year or 2 years, we will look back and say, remember, we could even watch together a movie on a Saturday afternoon. What, something we never do.
Yes, yes. That is fabulous. And something you mentioned, I'd like to kind of pronounce it a little bit more. That is illusion of control. We all think that we have control, and Corona has shown us that we have no control.
No,
So it's
there's no
really
control.
important to practice releasing control and just not
Yes,
resenting what is at this time. So once we release that resentment, then we become open vessels to live in more alignment, to live in more joy
absolutely.
and peace rather than fear.
And I think being a mom or a dad or being in a close family is the ideal training ground to let go of control. And I think especially moms who love the house has to be cleaned, we have eaten, everybody, like everybody has to clean and this and that. And if it doesn't happen the way we want, we get disappointed. So that's a pattern they had for a very long time. I would come home in the evening after our meetings and appointments. And if the kids and my husband were home, and sometimes breakfast table would still be there, I would go all ballistic, like, oh my God, everybody was home the entire day. I see the breakfast table. So now I'm like, okay, I'm okay with it. It's not that I'm going to be the doormat and start up cleaning. No, we will have like, okay, what is for dinner tonight? Because, like I'm the only one going out and in. And then we start together and we clean up together instead of me. My old pattern was to be resentful to them. Like, oh, I have let go of that.
That's beautiful.
But when I get overworked, it's a pattern that I would sometimes,
yes, comes back. Oh, I thought I rewired that neuron, but no, the blueprint.
And you know what helps me most is the thought, I will not allow a table which is not clean. I will not allow that to enter some negative thing. Like, I will not allow my mind to be polluted by that thought, because it's just it's an idea fix.
Just a table. It's just a freaking table.
Yes, yes,
exactly.
And who said that a house where 5 people live together has to be like a showroom model the entire time?
Exactly. So these are all our habitual patterns that we bought into, as you said at the beginning of
we bought into
the video, right? So we bought into it, but let's just have more patience and tolerance. And it doesn't mean that, as you said, and I'm going to take care of the table.
No,
once I release that resentment and I'm not triggered anymore, then I'm aligned to know what words exactly to say, so we come alongside with each other and kind of bring them in to clean.
Yes, absolutely. I like, we call everybody to the kitchen, so we're a team. What are we going to cook tonight? And everybody does something, because that's something that I stress every single day. We're a team, the 5 of us. It's not like one is doing or the other one. No, we're a team, and in doing that, and I think that's very powerful for the children too. They're part of a team and they have to take their responsibilities in a team.
Yeah, so it's all about the energy and the attitude. So we're not saying that we do everything. They have to, take care of their own tasks, but it's about the energy and coming alongside as a team together. So someone says the problem is that quarantine is a new condition for the individual who is not used to it enough. Of course, but here's the thing. I think permanence is just an illusion, just like control, right? We think life is permanent and not changing, but life is really, truly changing all the time. It's very volatile. And this time it's just like a slap on the face. Know that it's not permanent.
Arayeh, if we think that in thousands of years of history, people have gone through incredible wars. They lost their houses. They had to move to other countries. That has all happened not so long ago here in Europe. For you, where the country where you were born has lived that too. So it's not new. And the most, you could say, the strongest humans are the ones who can adapt most easily.
Exactly.
So that's when you're strong. So whether here in Europe in 1480, we had 2 world wars. My my grandparents had to flee to other countries. They lost everything. They had to come back and rebuild. It has been in history so many times, and it's just because in our lifetime we didn't live it that we're like, oh my God. And I know I will not underestimate the effect of the pandemic, but it's just history. Like it's like the storms.
Life. It's life.
And it's the storms. And we never had a pandemic, but they had the Spanish flu like 100 or like they had other big diseases like 500 years ago. So it's up to us to adapt and always look for the positive in the difficulty.
I agree. So it's as you said, it's about adaptability. Like I've lived through 8 years of war when I was a teenager. So you become adaptable, and you so I have another comment, kind of funny one. He says some wives are grumpy from their husband in quarantine because the husband has become interfering in everything. And this is normal because they're with some 24 hours.
But that's true. Again, and that's true. I see that, where I see that too? when couples retire, they have the same effect in the beginning.
Exactly.
When they retire, it's also energy.
Yeah.
You know, like they were out all day before while they were working. Now they retire, they are all day together, and they start like, so in quarantine, it's the same. People are more together.
Yeah.
But it's just in giving each other space. Give each other space.
Yeah.
Don't claim each, you know, like don't control, don't claim, don't demand. Just let go and be, you know, like be grateful that you are together.
So I wanted to mention something about this question. So this is the way I live and I teach, is that whatever that is in our inner circle, any event or any person or any conflict, they are here for us so we can learn something about ourselves, so we can learn our own spiritual lessons. So instead of when something happens in the outside of us, instead of going
and pointing,
that person, or blaming that person, just go back and put the spotlight within and say, why am I getting triggered? What can I learn from? What are the you know, lower qualities, attributes that I can work on? If I'm, and here's kind of a tough lesson that I teach, it's really, really hard to grasp and really actually embody, but whatever we want to say something to someone else, just pause. Maybe that is the exact same thing that you want to tell yourself.
Absolutely.
So this takes a lot of courage, but this is the most advanced spiritual, you know.
I couldn't agree more. And what I have seen in my entire journey, the further I get, the more healed all my relations are. With my husband, my children, my parents-in-law, where maybe 10 years, 15 years ago, there were a lot of issues. It's just if you do that, the spotlight, you put the spotlight in yourself. And then in putting that spotlight, you become more loving. You go deeper in compassion and love. It's incredible in forgiveness, self-forgiveness, and forgiveness to others. Things happen that you never could have imagined. And I'm very, you know, I strongly, or I only believe in leading by example. So my life being a demonstration of what I teach. And I think you are a lot more, if you embody that change, if you have lived it, it's so much, how could you say, I don't almost have to explain it. Because it's in me, it's in who I am, and it all starts and ends with the love.
Exactly. So I bet your mother-in-law or someone, they didn't change, you changed, you helped, you healed your past wounds, so they become.
Well, in me changing.
Yes, you changed. Yes.
There is a ripple effect.
Yes, exactly. It affects them. So again, Ojo is also saying the same thing. So she's saying how we're going to work now with this pandemic, because it's been a while we go to work. Again, it's work, people, interactions, whatever is in our inner circle, whatever we're experiencing as a soul, they have been here. They have been, believe it or not, we as a soul called for these experiences. We wanted them. We were like, okay, I'm going to pick this scenario, and then this person, and that spouse, and that child. So we pick them for a reason. So it is important, and whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it is a disease, if it is a work condition, if it's a relationship, just ask yourself, what am I learning? What is it that I have to learn and grow from this, and this lack of work or this bad relationship, so we can learn that lesson and grow. So everything boils down to spiritual growth. Whatever is in our physical world is actually here for one reason only, and that is for our spiritual growth, our personal growth. And guess who did it? We did it. We wanted it, but we forget. We come to this world with this amnesia and we forget. So
absolutely. And I even had once like a vision. I had a conflict with someone, and I got a vision that after this life, I hugged that person and thanked them for sacrificing himself to have that conflict, to have that to have created that opportunity for me for growth. And I could see that. And I was such an aha moment. And I said, oh my God. And, you know, like the dense emotions just dissolved. You know, like you can, the feeling that I had, I was so frustrated with that person. And I thought that person's only existence was to frustrate me. And then I had that vision, like hugging that person in an afterlife. And I was like, oh my.
Wow. What an aha. I have the exact similar story, Barbara. You know, as some of people here know, because I announced it, I was scammed last May, right? 2020 for a big, huge amount of money.
Yes.
Believe me, after 2 months, in the middle of the night, I woke up and I thanked these, there were 4 people. I thanked these 4 guys from the bottom of my heart. I'm not even kidding. I'm not exaggerating.
No.
Okay, I paid this coaching company to teach me these beautiful lessons. But how did I get those lessons? I was curious. I said that, curious. I kept asking myself, why did my soul call for this scamming experience in my life? What it is? What is it that I should learn so I can grow personally and spiritually? And I got these 4 beautiful lessons. And in the middle of the night, I'm like, oh, thank you for this beautiful opportunity, as you said. So again, everything becomes about perspective. Everything becomes about not having this myopic vision in this moment. And of course, we are human. We have to deal with our emotions. I always talk about do not resent your emotions.
Absolutely.
But know that each feeling passes. Like a maximum duration of each feeling is 90 seconds. Just sit with the feeling, just move through it. Do not hate yourself for it. Do not feel guilty. But then have this bigger vision and ask yourself, why did my soul call for this experience? How can I grow from this experience? This was wonderful, Barbara. I'm going to let you go because I know it's really late over there and you're tired. Thank you so much for joining me, and come back again. This was delightful.
Yes, I'll come back. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Arayeh. I love you.
Thank you so much. Love you. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.